Let's talk about fuel catalyst, namely the latest rage among YouTube truckers, the max mileage fuel catalyst. Now, everybody's jumping on board this, and I'm no different from the rest. I enjoy saving money in the long run if it's possible, and if anything will help me save money, by all means, I'm going to try it at least once. I know everybody wants to know whether it really improves your fuel economy, and I'll get into that later in the video. But right now, I want to discuss the things that I've noticed since I've started using it. The first thing I noticed is that my engine smoothed out, and it just runs much smoother and much quieter since I've added this to my fuel. Now, it took about a full tank before I really saw any true benefits from that, but I mean, it did start settling down almost immediately. It took about 400 or 500 miles, and then it was a noticeable difference in the way it idled and the way it run altogether. And by the time I had put my second tank of fuel in and added the catalyst to it, I'd been on the road for several days, and I always run my APU. I mean, it kicks on to cool the truck down, heat the truck, and keep the batteries charged and everything. And I've had problems in the past with smoke coming from my APU on startup. Hard startups and hard stops just shakes the whole damn truck. This stopped. The smoking stopped after, well, I'd say by the end of the second tank, it had stopped altogether. The APU was running smoother. There were no hard shutdowns or hard starts. Now, when I first decided to try this, I done a lot of research on it. I read some things on it, and they said that it was primarily developed to reduce the burn temperature of carbon, which I believe it does myself. There's also a video with an interview with the person that developed it. Her name is Jane. I'll include a link in the description if you'd like to go watch it. The video is about an hour long. There's about a 15-minute video interview in there if you want to fast forward or whatever, just to get the crux of what's going on. But they don't exactly hail the benefits of better fuel economy. The main purpose was to lower the temperature, the burn temperature of the carbon. There's been a lot of talk of increased performance. Of course, they also mentioned that with the catalyst itself, and I have noticed a slight improvement in the mountain grades. I mean, I'm pulling much better. I'm not telling you that I've got a 400 horsepower engine and it's pulling like it's 5. No, that's not the case at all, but there is a slight performance boost there in the mountain grades, and I run the Northwest a lot, so that helps. One thing I have noticed running this is I get a slightly higher temperature pulling the mountains, anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees. So depending on your truck, you might want to pay close attention to that and see how hot you're running when you're pulling the grades. Now, the answer to the question everybody wants to know, how much of a fuel economy increase did you get? And that's important here. That's a very important question, because this stuff adds about 8 cents to a gallon of fuel when you use it, because this stuff's expensive. I'm not going to deny that one bit. It's very damn expensive. So I had to think long and hard before I decided to even buy the first gallon. And I don't want to be that person that jumps out there and just blatantly tells you that, oh, hell yeah, I saw a great fuel economy improvement, that would not be true. I want to lay out the facts for you and let you decide for yourself. I want you to make an informed decision. So out of 17,000 miles, I spent about 6,000 of it grossing over 70,000 pounds, and the rest I was grossing around 54 to 60, just spread in there. So there were some light loads in there as well. Now, I'm not the type of driver that gets out there and runs my truck 70, 75 miles an hour all day long. I like to sit in the sweet spot. For me, it's around 62 to 65, depending on the terrain. But I've run 3,000 miles on a dedicated run that required me to do the speed limit between stops. That was part of the agreement. I would run at least the speed limit, which in the West can be as high as 80. I don't run 80, but I would run 75. And we're all too aware that running high speeds kill our fuel economy. So in wrapping this up, I'm going to tell you that I've seen no noticeable improvement, but I've not seen a drop in fuel economy either. It's holding steady, and with these speeds I've been having to run, I'm impressed with it. You decide whether you want to try it for yourself, but I've already ordered a second bottle.